All right, thank you very much for joining us again. It's another edition of the sports segment. On the First Line Morning Show, my name always Adamu Muftau. I bring you nothing but the best from the world of sports, and just like we do it every other morning, it's another edition of sports, and we bring you nothing but the best. And we're starting straight with boxing. Yesterday at the Accra Sports Stadium, it was absolutely ecstatic and rapturous when Bukom Banku and Aite Powers were introduced for the final bout of the evening. And finally, the fight came to pass. But on the day after the end of the bout, it was Aite Powers who was the vanquished. He lost to Bukom Banku on a unanimous decision after all three judges scored the bout in favor of Bukom Banku. So finally, the noise will be weathered down as Aite Powers was totally humiliated in that particular non-title fight. That's the cruiserweight title fight of the evening, and Bukom Banku was a superior of the two of the sides. And that takes us to our phone lines. We're asking a question that where is the state of Ghana boxing going to be in the next few years? The reason we are asking is that all the undercards ended in a technical knockout. And the question is it that the boxers didn't prepare enough? I mean the losers. So we go over to our phone lines to speak to renowned boxing judge Atta Eddie Papo. Very good morning, Atta Eddie, if you can hear me. And welcome to the First Line Morning Show.
Good morning. Very nice to hear you.
All right, thank you very much. Yesterday, you witnessed the bout between Aite Powers and Bukom Banku and the rest of the game and the bouts. That's the undercards. What do you make of this one, and where do you see Ghana boxing going in the next few years?
Well, like I said, hi to all your listeners, and I think a lot of you flew to the stadium to watch or to witness the fight between Bukom Banku and Aite Powers. I was with the view that the fight was going to be a child's play. I thought they were just coming to deceive the public. But I think from the outset, from where to go for round one, it was really thrilling. I think the fans were taken to a different level altogether. The fight was really good. Stadium was packed, and I think a lot of guys or a lot of spectators had their money's worth. That is come to the main part. With the undercard, I wasn't too sure. We had a very good deal. I was really disappointed. I think some of the boxers really pulled out during the last minute of the fight, therefore rendering the undercard not very palatable. But all in all, I should say the fight was good.
All right, Atta, for the sake of time, we'll leave it here and speak some other time on the bout. So that was Atta Eddie Papo, renowned Ghanaian boxing judge, and the referees judges as well. Away from some boxing news, we move on to some football news now and to the camp of the national under-20 team, the Black Satellite. They are off to Tamale for the second leg of the Africa Youth Championship qualifiers that will be staged in Senegal next year. Remember, the Black Satellite, they defeated Sierra Leone by 2-0 in the first leg of that particular qualifiers, and a win or a draw would see the Black Satellite move on to the next stage of the qualifiers, and that will be staged in Senegal next year. So Bobo and his charges off to Tamale away from the national under-20 team. We move on to some MTN FA Cup, and the match involving Kumasi King Faisal and the Kumasi Asante Kotoko has been pushed further to a later date because Ashanti Gold, who was declared losers in that particular game against Kotoko at the Accra Sports Stadium, want to appeal the case, so the game has been pushed to a later date. So should the appeal be rejected, the game will be played this month on the 25th, that is. So let's just see what happens, and we'll bring you details of that particular incident as it happens. Away from the local scene, let's switch focus to the foreign league now, and we're taking on the FA Cup in England. It's coming up at Wembley between Arsenal and Hull City. You remember Arsenal, they won the last time in 2005, and since then Arsenal have not won a major title in England. It has been 9 years since Arsenal won the FA Cup in England. It happened when Patrick Vieira lifted the cup in 2005. So talking about Arsenal, Arsene Wenger has won some 7 major trophies during his 18-year career at Arsenal. So he won 3 Premier League games. He won 4 FA Cups. And then in 2005, that was the last time he won a trophy for Arsenal. That was the FA Cup final. So Arsene Wenger will be looking forward to winning against Hull City to ensure he picks another trophy after 9 years of hiatus, after 9 years in hibernation as far as trophy is concerned. Away from England, let's switch focus to the Spanish Primera Liga, and final games today will decide who win the Spanish Primera Liga. Games coming up, we have Real Madrid. They are out of contention as far as the chase for the title is concerned. They came up against Espanyol at the Santiago Bernabeu. Elsewhere, Carles Puyol will be out for Barcelona as they take on Atletico Madrid. And that game, whoever wins will determine who wins the Spanish Primera Liga title. Elsewhere, Valencia take on Celta Vigo at the Mestalla Stadium, and Real Sociedad will be coming up against Villarreal. Atletico Club will be taking on Almeria. Osasuna, Real Betis will be doing action, and then Rayo Vallecano will be at home to Getafe. And Granada FC take on Real Valladolid. Sevilla will be coming up against Elche in that particular game, and Richmond Boachi Yadom is likely to start for Elche. So how did it end, or how is it going to end for the two clubs? I mean, Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. Atletico Madrid have some 89 points and Barcelona have some 86 points. So 3 points separating the two. Whoever wins would win the Spanish Primera Liga title. Away from Spain, let's move on to the Italian Serie A now, and games will also be coming up. Last game will be coming up in the Italian Serie A fixtures. Catania at home to Atalanta at the Angelo Massimino Stadium. And also we have Genoa away to Roma, and Juventus, the old ladies of Italian soccer. They could end the league with a more than 100 points as they come up against Cagliari. Internazionale Milano, Chievo Verona will be doing action. Torino away to Fiorentina. Lazio would welcome Bologna. Milan, Sassuolo will be doing action at the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium. And Napoli welcome Verona at the San Paolo Stadium. Livorno will be away to Parma. That's in the Italian Serie A. So we wrap up the sports segment with the French Ligue 1 fixtures. That's also coming up. Last games in the French Ligue 1 fixtures. Bastia would welcome Nantes. Marseille take on Guingamp. Lille, Lorient will be doing action. Monaco take on Bordeaux. Olympique de Lyon, Nice will be doing action. Paris Saint-Germain, who have already won the Ligue 1, take on Montpellier. We have Rennes doing action against Rennes. Evian Tonon Gaillard will be parading Jonathan Mensah as they travel to Sochaux, and Jordan Ayew also be in action for Sochaux. They are likely to be relegated because they are not positioned well on the French Ligue 1 title. Saint-Etienne take on Ajaccio, and Abdulmajid Waris is a likely starter for Valenciennes as they take on Toulouse in the French Ligue 1. And that's how we conclude the sports segment on the First Line Morning Show. My name always Adamu Muftau. Same time on Monday, join us for another interesting edition of the sports segment. But in the meantime, it's the issue that is coming up with Al Hassan Eswini. Stick and stay.